Sega.
This is Team and we're in WGS, the best running wrestling and gaming radio show ever, only on Blog Talk Radio. And if you don't like anything we say or do, 1, we respect your opinion. 2, fuck you.
Hello, Wrestle Gamer fans. This is GCW superstar Cody Hawkins, and you're listening to the Wrestle Gamer Show on WGS Radio on Blog Talk Radio.
Louisiana Championship Wrestling presents Scores and Stripes from the Mamu Skate Center. That's 98 Main Street, Mamu, Louisiana. You can call them on 318-664-4609. What's all that about?
Hi kids, I'm the Iron Reverend Jake Slayer. For all the latest and greatest news and reviews in the world of video gaming, listen to GameUP, the greatest show on the internet. So tune in every week, for I will personally shove a joystick straight up your ass. And now, back to our show.
GCW presents live 100% chance of pain. July 23rd at the American Legion Hall at 3319 Veteran Memorial Drive in Abbeville, Louisiana. For more ticket information, call 337-366-7480.
WGS Radio is on the air. How's everybody doing? Double B Billy Boudreaux coming at you on this June 25th, 2011, and it is time for GameUP. Your GameUp here on WGS. Got a lot to talk about this week. We're going to take a look at a few demos I've been able to get my hands on, including Sonic Generations, El Shaddai Ascension of the Metatron. We're also going to take a look at the multiplayer demo of Homefront and what I've thought about it so far. We're also going to take a look at the demo for Duke Nukem and Forever, and probably say this is probably the only game ever in a bathroom taking a piss. Yes, you heard me correctly. And we're also going to take a look at the Game Critics nominees for Best of E3, and we're going to give our thoughts on it and who we think is going to win in each category. So let's go ahead and... Ashley is in the building. Ashley, how you doing this week?
I'm doing very good. How are you? Do it. Come with me if you want to this.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's
Arnie, get off the mic, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's better to my man as it's a WWE fan. WWE fan, how you doing?
And the NASCAR King is back.
Yes, and again, ladies and gentlemen, you have 3 ways to get in.
NASCAR King, you paid too much. Sorry, keep going on that.
on that note, ladies and...
Ministry, I see.
Yes, and ladies and gentlemen, we have 3 ways to get in. You have 3 ways to get in on our conversation. One is to call in to 914-803-4615. That's 914-803-4615. You can also log into your Skype and call us via Skype. It is a free call, and you can also log in to blogtalkradio.com/WGS Radio and get in our chat room, and we will read your chat room comments out loud for the sake of the podcast. Now we have...
Be careful when you're calling in. You don't press 69, or else you might get a nasty surprise.
Well, anyway, speaking of nasty prizes, it's been in the news for quite some time. A person has been detained or arrested in relation to the hacking of the PSN network. Ashley, do you have any more of this story?
Mr. Ryan Cleary. He has
clearly
been
say Cleary.
Charged. it's Cleary. I thought it was Clearly, but I can clearly say it's Cleary. Yeah, it's confusing everybody. No, Ryan Cleary has been charged with hacking many sites, including apparently the Serious Organised Crime Agency's website here in the UK. Let me see what other offences he's been charged. He's widely behind to be one of the masterminds behind this LulzSec group. Great story that I saw this week, and an early arrival for our douchebag of the week, and it's a pizza theory. The mother.
Really?
Who, when she asked why her son was on the PC so much, he told her, and she believed, that all he was doing was playing video games.
I thought you say he was looking at porn.
No, he was playing video games. I guess he kind of was, just serious, like war games, kind of. The film War Games. What was actually happening in the game was actually real. Their website, as well as attacking music industry bodies. The police have also examined him for any Sony data relating to the PSN hacks back in April. He was once associated with Anonymous, who did the PSN attacks, but turned his back on the group and hacked the Anonymous site itself. Apparently. Well, although there has been a situation develop over the past 24 hours. It turns out this kid has Asperger's syndrome.
Really?
Which is like an autistic kind of thing, if you don't know what it is. And the thing about that, there have been quite a few cases where kids have hacked stuff, but because they've had Asperger's syndrome, because it's, they've blamed it on their condition, they've got away with it.
I believe they're just using that. A lot of people see for what it really is. It's, they're doing something illegal, and then they're trying to blame it on an illness that, no medical science can detect, and saying that, oh, this is the reason why I did this to you. I didn't do it intentionally. It was my disease that did it. To me, honestly, from what it just sounds like total bullshit. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
For once in these people's lives, they need to own up to what they've done. If they've done something, own up to their consequences instead of take them off themselves and saying, "Oh, I have a disease. It's not my fault." People out there are dumb with it, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. But there may be a little swift justice. As if this is going like in a huge hacking. Anonymous hacked Sony. LulzSec. Now, apparently, a number of rival hacking groups have got together. A hacker going by the name of Juan Roy is claimed to have brought it himself in an attack codenamed Operation Supernova.
Wow.
So LulzSec has been attacked themselves, apparently.
Do people not know that hacking is a federal offense?
No. Apparently it's a whole load of fun. I love reporting on it. Seeing it from afar. God. Now we're going to have Barack Obama hacking Colonel Gaddafi's emails, and in retaliation, Colonel Gaddafi is going to hack, I don't know,
Kim Jong-il from North Korea's emails, and then he'll hack David Cameron's emails. David Cameron will hack Hugo Chavez and stuff. Will hack Obama. You know, everybody will be hacking everybody else, apart from people that don't have computers.
Well, it's just
They'll be the lucky
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look at one of the demos I've got my hands on. It's Sonic Generations. Now, apparently, this game is coming out to celebrate the 20th anniversary of guys that I'm actually a pretty big fan of, because when I first got my hands on Sega Genesis, the first game I ever played was Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Now, this game, it looked what they showed in the demo so far is you're playing as classic Sonic. It's got great 3D elements. I do like the fact they brought in retro music. When I say retro music, the Green Hill Zone and Sonic the Hedgehog 2, they played that theme in this demo, and it seems very fluid gameplay. From what I've heard of the story, it's somewhere along the lines that the Chaos Emeralds have thrown the world into a where modern Sonic meets up with younger Sonic, and they both have to work together in order to beat this new issue with the Chaos Emeralds. Demo commentary, actually, it's rather unique. Back in the day when Sega was first promoting their Genesis, one of the main things they did in their commercial advertisements to promote Sonic and the Sega Genesis is that they bashed Mario and Nintendo like it was nobody else's business. Now think about what they're doing today now, Ash. That Sega is now teamed up with Nintendo, and now they're making video games featuring both Sonic and Mario at the same time. My, how things have changed in over 20 years.
Has Sonic been in Smash Brothers? Can't remember.
I think he might have.
Might have been in the one on the Wii, possibly.
But I also understand that there's a new Smash Brothers in the works, but it's going to be quite some time.
Oh, that's way off. That's way off.
Yes. But Sonic might be in... I'll tell you right now, I'd be lying if I told you I knew for sure, because I don't. But,
yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me to see him in there, but from the way they're presenting this game, Sonic Generations, it really looks good. It really looks good. You have the choice, again, as either playing as the original Sonic or by playing as the mod counterpart on each level. And it's going to be in late 2011 where we're going to get our hands on this game. But here's the thing, though. The demo is only available for 20 days. Yeah, that's the only bad thing about it. But from what I've played and what I saw on the demo, Ashley, I'm expecting a really good game out of this one.
Yeah, and also they announced there was going to be a free iPhone app. But hopefully will be released sometime in the rest of the world eventually. It's only going to be available for the next 6 months, and it's going to compose of the first stage of Sonic the Hedgehog 4, Episode 1, a mini-game called Sonic the Sketchhog, a news feed, and an area for weekly wallpaper downloads. And also this week, Sonic deals aplenty on all major gaming portals. Xbox Live Arcade has got Sonic Hedgehog 1, 2, and 3, only 240 points each, rather than 400. Sonic and Knuckles is 120 instead of 240. Sonic the Hedgehog Episode 1 is only 800 instead of 1200 points. Adventure is 400 points instead of 800, and the DX grade add-on is 240 instead of 400. And there's ones for the Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing as well on offer at, I believe,
bring it up. 320 and 240 points respectively, with original prices of 560, 320, and 400. For 20 days on the PlayStation Network, you can get Sonic Hedgehog 1 and 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1, and Sonic Adventure and the DX Upgrade bundled all together, including a dynamic theme for Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1, for only $19.99, so basically that's half the price. And also, on the PC, for the next week until the 30th, you get a bundle of games for PC, which is only $14.97 instead of $29.94, includes 3D Blast. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Sonic Spinball, the Hedgehog 1 and 2, and the important thing, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which was, the original Sonic the Hedgehog 3, I think. Or it was Sonic 3. Oh, there's the actual Sonic and Knuckles embedded with it. I'm not sure, but decent package.
Good thing I have the Sonic's Ultimate Genesis collection already, so I won't have to worry about all that. WWE fan, have you ever played any of the Sonic games ever?
I believe so. I think it was Sonic the Hedgehog on a system. I forgot what it was.
Alright, well, there's another demo I'd like to talk to you guys about. It's called El Shaddai, Ascension of the Metatron. Now, it is an unusual name for a video game. But this is what I saw at E3, and the information they gave out about it. It's based on religious text. It's also like another book of the Testament. I am not too positive about it, but from what I saw at E3 and what I played on the demo, this is an extremely colorful game, is what I'm saying. Before I go any further, let's welcome in from World Rock Media, Decon. Decon, how you doing?
Pretty good. Just got back from fishing. Didn't catch a thing. So, are we talking about Sonic today?
Oh, we just finished talking about the Sonic Generations demo. Have you had a chance to play it yourself?
Not lately. I haven't been at the games yet.
Well, it is a really good demo. The only problem is it's only available for 20 days.
It's only one level.
And it's only one level, but it's still a really good game from what I've played on it so far. But
I can still sense all these speedrunning websites trying to do a speedrun of a demo. Who can get through it the quickest?
I don't think I would qualify. It took about 3 minutes to get through it myself. But anyway,
the gameplay is basically completed.
Yeah.
Like they do.
But anyway, the demo.
Just quickly, that I noticed Minister put in the chat. Sonic did appear in Super Smash Bros. Brawl.
Okay.
But go ahead with it. El Shaddai or whatever it is.
Well, it's called El Shaddai, Ascension of the Metatron, and like we was saying, it is based on ancient religious texts, including possibly another book of Testaments. And from what I saw in the demo and what I saw at E3, it's an extremely colorful game. Story looks really well done. The gameplay, especially on the demo, is really, really good. The elements of the game change from world to world, from what I understand. And at one point in the demo, you're playing in a 3D environment, and then all of a sudden, bam, you get to almost a platformer style of gameplay on El Shaddai. But it really looks really good. My only issue with this, actually, is quite possibly people like, in the religious fields and stuff like that, do you think they could possibly see this game as possibly an end to all the ancient religious texts that they based the story on?
Possibly. So when religion gets chucked in stuff, it's always, deemed to be controversial and stuff. Like, there was the whole rumour about the Zelda Ocarina of Time having edited out prayer chants or something, which I don't know even existed, I'm not sure. Religion is there isn't a whole lot of number one hits in the Billboard 100 in America or the top 40 over here in the UK that are religious. If you don't talk about religion right, you face the backlash of the community. That's not something you want to be on the end on, to be honest. So, as long as they do it right, it should work out. But, if not, everybody go play the Bible game.
James is here. James, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm just watching this Mario marathon they're having.
Really? You want to tell everybody where?
Okay. Basically, it's MarioMarathon.com. The thing they're raising for is called Child's Play. It's an organization where they give toys and like video games to the children that's in the children's hospital. So. I'm gonna put the link on the chat room. So.
All right. Well, while he does that, let's get to another.
MarioMarathon.com.
Mario
website.
All right, Mario.
If you're listening to us.
All right, and let's get to this next demo. I only got asked to play a dog. Wow! And I don't mean that in a good sense either. Decon, this is the only game ever where you start out in a restroom in a pit.
Oh, jeez.
I am not lying.
What?
And of course it was a pretty long piss because he's been 13 years to do it. And there's quite a lot of leakage, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, one thing I did expect, especially from the Duke Nukem franchise, was one, graphic violence, which the demo did deliver on. Graphic language, again, which also the demo. Other than that, yeah, there was humor in there too. I'll explain in just a second. But the gameplay-wise, first-person shooter, they had really good guns. The graphics were, especially for a Duke Nukem game, which I've never played before. I don't know too much about the story, but the demo kind of tells a little bit about the aliens and stuff like that, and the fact that you start off with an alien, and after you defeat this giant alien with your gun that's called the Devastator, it kind of backs out to Duke moaning, and then he's holding a controller, and then he puts it down, and then we see two blonde twins giving him a blonde.
Wow, you don't actually see the actual stuff.
But it's implied.
It's implied, yes.
Yeah, it kind of draws to the humor aspect of the game, and the only thing I can say about that Duke Nukem is one lucky son of a bitch. But anyway, a lot of people have high hopes for the game. It took about 12 to 13 years for it to come out, and if it got released on June 14th, Decon, first question to you, do you believe that this game will live up to its expectations, even though since we've been waiting for 12, 13 years? Do you think people will still think that even though we waited a long time for this game, it was worth the wait?
Well, my friends think it wasn't worth the wait, so I don't think it'll live up to its name.
Yeah, and nudity is also in there. As I look in the chat room, I also would like to welcome Z the Fox into the chat room, as well as Ministry of Darkness. Ministry, what is up? How you doing? But, yeah, there is nudity in the game, so it's basically...
Yeah, one of the big boss lizards has got 3 tits.
And it's...
Wild spoiler, but, 3 tits. I haven't seen 3 tits in any kind of media since Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Side note, in the video clip where it's showing that, even though it's censored, they still show it. Duke Nukem utters the ever famous response, I'd still hit that.
Yeah, no.
That's really good. It's like
genius and also.
Yeah, but James, same question to you. Do you believe that Duke Nukem Forever, even though it took so long for it to come out, do you believe people will play this game and say, it's worth waiting?
I don't know for my standpoint. I think they would be disappointed. Maybe.
Yeah, the same questions to you guys in the chat room. Says, free tits? Where's the free tits? Just Duke Nukem Forever, and I think you'll have all the free tits you can have, Ministry. And I'm pretty sure WWE fans cowering in a corner right now if you're talking about free tits. Anyway,
you really shouldn't have put tits where free tits. Rev just logs back in.
Yeah.
Oh, it's some fun tonight.
Oh, wow. Rev says, tits make the world go round. And yes, they do. Yes, they do. Last demo I want to talk about right now is the Homefront multiplayer demo. I've always heard a lot about Homefront, especially with all the negative comments and all the problems that they were having, especially with issues when it comes to this game. But I actually got my hands on the multiplayer demo, and it is quite fun. I didn't think it would be because, me being a hardcore Call of Duty fan, even though Call of Duty fucks up like every which way through Sunday, but I still had fun playing this game, for the fact that, one, it's a multiplayer demo, and you can play it as much as you want. The only drawback that I find is you're only allowed to go up to a level 10, and you can't not prestige. A lot of people were hoping that on Homefront, you can do like you do on Call of Duty and prestige and start your levels over and work your way up. It's not the case on Homefront. You cannot prestige. Other than the fact of deleting all your game data off of either your Xbox or your PC or your PS3 and starting just completely bone dry over. But other than that, I think the gameplay is really, really good. I like the fact that the gameplay mechanics are still the same as in Homefront as they are in Call of Duty. A lot of the targeting and the way you fire, but there are a lot of new things. There are vehicles in this game where you can either be in a helicopter, you can be in a tank, a Humvee. You can also launch air drones, which is like air recon. You can also have ground drones that have gun turrets where you can sneak that into your enemy's base. It's really a fun game, and one thing I am looking forward to, actually, when I get my next paycheck, I plan on getting the full version of this game. Because it's really fun.
Well, the one problem has been the single-player story. That's been the one criticism of it. Apparently the story is... Hang on, let me get the reception.
Oh, brother, what? Ministry of Darkness says, public warning, don't go near Rev, and Rev replies, public or pubic warning?
That was coming. No, there was something, apparently. The campaign, the single player game, is pretty short in length, and it's not brilliant. But what makes up for it is the reaction to the multiplayer.
Decon, do you always find that's kind of the sad point? Even though the multiplayer is wonderful in Homefront, just like it is on Call of Duty, that the campaign mode, the story mode for Homefront is, just taking a backseat to the multiplayer aspect of the game.
I hate when it's like that. It's like when I buy a game, I expect to see results. Any multiplayer game should have a good story mode and a good multiplayer mode, not one or the other.
James, same thing to you. What are your thoughts about that?
I'm really disappointed that they are working about the multiplayer than the single player, because I'm for one, I'm like a I'm one of the few that likes single player as much as multiplayer.
Yeah, but you know, if they find something that works, like the multiplayer aspect of the game, and if the game sells because of that, then a lot of people, you know, even though they frown on the fact that there's not a solid campaign mode on Homefront, if the game is still selling, they really shouldn't have too much of a problem with it, wouldn't you guys think?
I don't see how everybody's so hateful towards Homefront when it's the game itself is written by one of the co-writers of Apocalypse Now. You're not going to have Apocalypse Now remade. If they do, it's going to be the most atrocious thing ever. You know, this is probably the closest kind of thing, except that the story of the single player is intriguing, because it's supposed to be about the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, who basically has just taken over from his dad, who's got ill. Somehow reunites Korea to create a greater Korea Republic, and basically Korea and you know, starts taking over the world due to the whole like US and UK and all the Western world going into huge recession and stuff, and basically North Korea invades pretty much everywhere. It's kind of cool, but also kind of creepy.
Well, we talked a little bit about Call of Duty Black Ops. Activision has released a new trailer for a new map pack that's set to release on the Xbox 360 on June 28th. It's called the Annihilation Map Pack, and it'll include 5 maps, 4 competitive multiplayer arenas, and 1 zombie mode specific locale.
With a different.
Alright, though a release date for the PC and the PS3 version of the game's third DLC pack has not been announced, you know, it's safe to assume that it will follow the same schedule as the past add-ons. When you think?
Yeah. Yeah, it contains Hangar 18, Hazard, Drive-In, Silo, and the zombie map's called Shangri-La, which takes place in a legendary shrine lost in an exotic jungle.
Well, actually, I know there's one thing you wanted to talk about here on today's show, and I believe it was the fact that one of your favorite games, Explosion Man, is getting a sequel.
Oh yes, the Missplosion Man is coming on its way. I believe it's mid-July.
July 13th.
July 13th, yeah, I'm looking forward to that, because the first one is one of those games where it sounds like it's a stupid title, but when you get to play it, from what I've heard from my friends, and I've had a go a few times, it is kind of scarily kind of fun and nice, and you know, people have been asking about a sequel to could they do Explosion Man 2, but instead Explosion Man, apparently the plot is something like Explosion Man is going to be captured and Miss Explosion Man, so Explosion Woman, has to go off and rescue him. But yeah, there's a whole load of other news stories, but I think we'll hold back for a minute. There was one thing I was pissed off about, which I wanted to, you know, the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time last week was not the best-selling game of the week. Amazingly, it was Zumba fucking Fitness. God! Wow.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah. That is proof that casual gaming has taken over against all hardcore gaming. Also, it probably was... Well, no, actually, Zumba Fitness is only out for the Nintendo Wii, and the other one's only out for the 3DS, so that's not fair.
Ministry has a comment about Black... Isn't Black Ops just racist? Where is White Ops?
Good question.
I know, right?
But, although there is a game coming out soon, which is a sequel, called White Knight Chronicles 2 for the PS3.
Well, and that...
The game that isn't racist is black and white. Unless, of course, you're Chinese, in which you might be yellow, I don't know. It's actually, it's Simpsons-ish. That's what it is. It is still racist. Black and white is still racist because it's not catering for yellow people. Or actually Kermit the Frog, because it's not easy being green. There you go.
Wow.
Let's just spiel out random shit.
Well, ladies, E3 has come and gone, and we know Ashley here has done a lot of content. I will be doing, even though in weeks past on the WGS YouTube channel, I will be posting up my reactions to a lot of the game demos that are released or shown at E3. But not only that, what we're going to be doing when we come back from our break here, the infamous game critics have released their nominees for the best of E3. So what we're going to do when we come back, we're going to break down each category and give our thoughts on to who we think is going to win in each category. And if there's a game that should be there that's not there, well, we'll talk about that as well. So listen to GameUP on WGS Radio.
Hi, I'm Sonic Fanatic from Aurora Shock Media, and you're listening to WGS Radio.
Hi, I'm Rin from Aurora Shock Media. What is Aurora Shock Media, you ask? Aurora Shock Media is a group of 6 people whose purpose is to give you quality entertainment pertaining to the latest and greatest video games, movies, music videos, and programs. We also provide awesome blogs and crazy stunts. And because there are 6 of us, there's always something new coming out. For more information on Shock Media, go to aurorashockmedia.weebly.com. That's aurorashockmedia.weebly.com. And while you're there, check out our videos already uploaded.
Aurora Shock Media. It has begun.
This is Team and we're in WGS, the best running wrestling and gaming radio show ever, only on Blog Talk Radio. And if you don't like anything we say or do, 1, we respect your opinion. 2, fuck you.
Hi, I'm the Iron Reverend Jake Slayer. And if you're like me, you're probably thinking about contraception right about now. Do you want to protect your nuts and dirty little sluts? Do you want to avoid being in dick bondage? Well, then we have what you need at the WGS store. It's the WGS Condom Pack. They come in different sizes and flavors, and they are definitely like a share shot to the balls. And remember, at WGS, your cock is safe in our hands.
This year, you'll hear artists like these on Rockin' Waves 11/2/94. Don Henley. Reed and Frost. The Rolling Stones. Frank Zappa.
Hey there, people, I'm Bobby Brown. They say I'm the cutest boy in town.
Yours truly, Fenwick Mouse. The hits old and new are being played all throughout 2011 on Rockin' Waves 11/2/94. Listen online every Friday from 1 to 5. Every Saturday from 10 p.m. until the party ends. Go to blogtv.com/people/Quizmaster1 to listen in on all the hilarities.
Can we exempt his green card?
Big 3 News. Visit us on the web at big3news.net and big3news.com. To contact us during the show, use the interactive chat window or call us on Skype at 440-249-6397. That's 440-249-NEWS. Skype users use the Skype ID of Big 3 News. To make your own contribution to the show, email Big 3 News at info@big3news.net. To stay connected with us after the show, be sure to download our community toolbar and get access to all of our social links like Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, and YouTube. Thanks for watching, and thanks for contributing to Big 3 News.
Yeah, you're listening to Flip the Wolfman Jackson on WGS Radio and Block Talk Radio.
We are back to Game Up here on WGS Radio. I'm Double B, Billy Boudreaux, and asking the question, WWE fan, why is Sonic the Mouse hiding in the shores? And WWE, whoa. WWE fans having some microphone issues. But anyway, let's get back to what we're going to be talking about.
Either that or he's still trying to recover from his NASCAR session, but I'll let him talk about that later.
Well, anyway, as we talked before the commercial break, the game critics have released their nominees for the Best of E3. So we're going to take a look in each category, break down each category, and give our thoughts on who we think is going to win. You guys in the chat room, like Ministry and Rev, if you want to put in your thoughts, you can as well. So
by the way, we will update on this next week because they are announcing the award winners this Tuesday, the 28th. So, you know, we're pretty much giving you a kind of live reaction, I guess, kind of thing.
So the first category we're going to take a look at is Best Downloadable Game. That's Best Downloadable Game. The nominees are Bastion from Supergiant Games, WB Games for the PC and Xbox 360, From Dust from Ubisoft for the PC, PS3, and Xbox 360, Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet from Fuel Cell Games and Microsoft Studios for the Xbox 360, Journey from That Game Company, that's what they're called, That Game Company, for the PlayStation 3, and Papa and Yo from Minority for the PlayStation 3. Now, I will say this, one game I have seen that they did show on G4 TV on the last day of E3, or the coverage they did on G4 TV, was Journey. Now, it kind of now in a way, it's kind of like the same basis as Limbo. No, when I say that, it means there's not really much of a story behind this game.
Journey is from the same people that brought you Flower. There wasn't a lot of story to that. All it was is controlled the wind, basically pollinating flowers. But it may not have the story, but it was goddamn beautiful to look at. And from what I've seen of Journey, it's exactly the same.
So what are your Ashley? Who do you think is going to come out of this one? Because the only game I could safely say it looks like a really downloadable game is Journey, from what I've seen.
Journey, I've heard about From Dust, and I've heard some not bad appeal for that as well. So, but I'd say Journey personally.
All right, DCOM, what are your thoughts about this category? Best downloadable game.
I've never even heard of these games, so I wouldn't know.
All right, James, what about you?
It's the same, but I think Journey will win.
Are you still having microphone issues? Yes, you are.
Shout loudly. Shout loudly.
No.
Great.
May I just say, what's this diarrhea?
Ministry said it sounded like farting. That's what Ministry said.
The question is, how does Ministry know that's what it sounds like? Just say it. Just say it. Right, let's jump over to our next award, which is Best Online Multiplayer, which is confusing because most of these games haven't had an online multiplayer beta, so how do we know what they're like online? The nominees are Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, Gears of War 3, Star Wars The Old Republic, and Uncharted 3. So basically you've got 4 3s and an Old Republic.
Now, when you make mention of a game not having an online multiplayer beta, definitely the first game that comes to mind is Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception. The Uncharted franchise has been basically a single-player campaign game. They've never really journeyed into an online multiplayer aspect before.
Uncharted 2 had a very good multiplayer.
Oh, it did? Well...
Uncharted 1 didn't because it was only like a launch game and they weren't sure how it would be, what kind of reception it was going to get. If it wasn't going to be a popular thing, then they could easily, just cancel it and not do it. The game's so big, the second one they decided to have multiplayer. The multiplayer was very good, and it's so good, in fact, that America gets, via Subway, early access to the full multiplayer for the game before it's out. I think a couple of weeks before it comes out in the 1st of November, which is pretty impressive.
I'd like to welcome a newcomer in the chat room, Miss Patty Mays. Patty Mays, welcome to the WGS Radio chat room here as we're taking a look at the best of E3 categories released from the game critics and discussing our thoughts on who we think is going to win. And Ministry says, well, apparently he knows a lot about Rev's Gas because he farted a lot during SmackDown on WGS-TV. Yeah. Well, anyway,
that one.
Now, here's my problem, Ashley. There are 3 great multiplayer games in this category that really have the potential to run away with this award. They have Battlefield 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, and Gears of War 3. It is really hard.
I beg to differ.
Really? Why?
All 5 of them are going to be huge. Old Republic is basically EA's trying to take out Activision and Blizzard with the World of Warcraft, because that's what it basically is. It's going to be that kind of style of game. And Battlefield 3 is going to be huge as well.
But, I'm going to have to go out on a limb here, and since everybody knows I'm a big Call of Duty fan of the franchise, my pick for this category, I'm going to have to go with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Ashley, what are your thoughts? Who do you see running away with this award?
Oh, this is a tough one.
Now you know what I'm talking about.
I want to steer clear of Call of Duty and Battlefield because they're just taking pop shots at each other. Battlefield going, oh look, we're free, and Call of Duty saying stuff like, oh look, we're giving you more than Battlefield 3 is. So I'm staying out of that. Old Republic is basically an online game, so it could possibly be that, but I'm going to take a shot on Uncharted 3 because I believe Uncharted 2 won multiplayer a few years back. Let me just have a quick look at the previous list of winners of all that while you go around everybody else.
The only other person we have on the line now is James. James, what are your thoughts for best online multiplayer game? Which game do you think will get the award?
That's hard. It's a battle between Battlefield 3 and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. I can't give you a killer winner, though.
Oh wow, back in 2009, best online multiplayer was Left 4 Dead 2, so with that knowledge, yeah, I'm still going to say Uncharted 3.
Alright,
the fact that they're actually letting you play it 2 weeks before it comes out is just, wow.
Well, let's take a look at the next category. The next category is Best Motion Simulation Game. Best Motion Game. The nominees they have are Dance Central 2 by Harmonix and Microsoft Studios for the Xbox 360, Fruit Ninja Connect by Half-Brick and Microsoft Studios for the Xbox 360. Sesame Street Once Upon a Monster from Double Fine Productions. And by the way, Tim Schafer was behind
Tim Schafer.
it. Yeah, and WB Games for the Xbox 360. The Gun Stringer by Twisted Pixel Games and Microsoft Studios for the Xbox 360. And the only nominee in this category from Nintendo, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword by Nintendo EAD for the Wii.
And you also notice no PlayStation there, no Move.
No, not at all. None at all. Actually, are you surprised by the fact there are no PlayStation games in this category?
No, there wasn't. But there was some stuff that... The problem is, most of the games that have PlayStation Move in them, you don't have to have it to play it. Whereas with Dance Central 2 and Fruit Ninja Connect and Sesame Street, you have to have it because they're Connect games. And Skyward Sword, you use the Wii remote, which is already motion as it is. There needs to be more of there needs to be a game for like the Move, which is only available for PlayStation Move. You have to actually have the things in order to play it.
Well, let me give my thoughts on each game in this category. Dance Central 2. Yes, the only chance where you can look gay in your own home and nobody else will know.
You can get fit off it. Fit as I mean healthy, not sexy.
Fruit Ninja Connect. Don't know anything about it. Sesame Street Once Upon a Monster. Well, it's from the same man who brought us Psychonauts. Well, I have been waiting for a sequel to Psychonauts for years and years and years, and I still want a sequel to Psychonauts, Tim Schafer. Instead, he produces a Sesame Street
on the
game.
success, depending on how well this Sesame Street one does, as in, if it does very well, they might have enough money from it to actually make Psychonauts 2.
And the Gunstringer, I don't know anything about it, and Skyward Sword, I don't know too much information about that game either. One thing I will say, if Sesame Street gets the win in this category, I'm going to be very shocked. Very, very shocked. Why? It's Sesame Street.
It's the ultimate game.
Why is it the ultimate game?
It's for all ages. I mean, the demo that they showed, okay, the stupid Xbox actors are shit at it, but this is the game that the kids are going to love because it's Sesame Street, but the parents are going to love it because they grew up with Sesame Street and they're teaching their kids about all different things. It's one of the best interactive learning things that there probably is out there. It's probably more entertaining than some of the educational stuff I've seen on other consoles, certainly.
Ministry has a comment about the when there are no PlayStation games in this category. He says the hacking is probably blacklisting PlayStation this year. I don't know if I agree with that too much.
There are strong games coming out for all consoles, but when you take into account PS3, I mean, that's handy. In previous years, they've actually had best game on each console, but when you look at the fact that Uncharted 3 is a PS3 exclusive, Resistance 3 is a PS3 exclusive, God of War, rumoured to be a fourth one coming out in the next few years or so as a PS3 exclusive. There's stuff there.
So, as far as with my guess goes, I'm going to have to go with the game that'll make you look gay in your own home, Dance Central 2. Ashley, your thoughts?
It's a toss-up. I'm not going to make a decision, but I think it's going to be between Sesame Street and Legend of Zelda. But I'd be pleased to see those two smaller games, Gunslinger and Fruit Ninja Connect, make it as well.
How funny would it look to see Rev Jake Slayer playing Dance Central 2?
Well, there is another game later on that we're going to mention which he may be interested in, certainly.
Well, James, what are your thoughts about this category for Best Motion Simulation Game? Which one do you see going away with?
I'm going to give it to the only Nintendo game on this list, Legend of Zelda.
And W Fan, who's here on his phone, now, WWE fan, what do you think about this one? Which game do you see winning the best motion simulation game? Dance Central 2, Fruit Ninja Connect, Sesame Street, Once Upon a Monster, you say that, I'll slap you, The Gunstringer, and The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword.
I think I'm going to have to go with Ashley.
Okay.
It's a toss-up between the two. Those were the two that really intrigued me. I knew Dance 2 was coming out, because the first one did so well. And Zelda is a sequel that's been quite a while in the waiting, and maybe Sesame Street, but it's a Tim Schafer game. I'm slightly biased in that sense.
Rev Jake Slayer says Sesame Street is as gay as Barney and Yu-Gi-Oh! My response to that is, I agree with you, Barney, but for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Part, I say fuck you. Ministry of Darkness. Ministry of Darkness.
I'm going to Billy.
What?
I'm going to be with you, Billy.
Ministry of Darkness says he's going with the Zelda game. That's his pick. The next category we're going to look at now is the best social/casual game. Best social or casual game, and oh Lord, ladies and gentlemen, he is here, the Iron Reverend Jake Slayer. Reverend Jake, how you doing?
Yo.
All right. Well, the current category we're looking at right now, guys, again, is best social/casual game. And Rev, I meant it when I said "fuck you" about the Yu-Gi-Oh! Comment in the chat room.
Oh, I didn't hear it. It might have been when I was calling in.
All right, but anyway,
the
nominees.
Look. Ministry says I live on Sesame Street. No, bitch, I live on Sensimilia Street. Okay, get it straight.
Well, anyway, the nominees in this category for best social/casual game are Dance Central 2, Disneyland Adventures by Frontier Developments and Microsoft Studios with Xbox 360, Rocks by Ubisoft San Francisco, Ubisoft for the PC, PS3, and Xbox 360, Rhythm Heaven by Nintendo Wii, and Sound Shapes by Queasy Games for the PlayStation Vita. Wow. Ashley, your thoughts? Because
pretty much every console is covered there, apart from the 3DS.
Now, I found something interesting about the Rocksmith game where you're not using a play guitar. You're plugging in your actual guitar, electric guitar, to this game. That's kind of revolutionary in a sense, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. It's for innovation. It's certainly good. For best social casual game, I'm not sure. I think this is one that Dance Central 2 will probably win.
Well, I have a question about that guitar thing now. You can actually plug in a real electric guitar.
Yes.
Is there a thing that teaches you how to play your real electric guitar?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
It's incorporated into it. Particularly, it's the old teaching tool. Like, let's say you want to play Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses. It basically teaches you step by step how to get it perfect so you can impress your friends. Just don't tell them you learned it off Rocksmith.
What game system is that on?
It's out for PS3 and 360, but it also is for PC. Whether it will be for your relatively old system, though, Rev, I'm not sure.
Oh, no, it won't be for my old system. But see, that sounds like a game that I would be interested in. Because you're actually learning how to do something. Learning how to play the guitar. See, that sounds cool.
Oh, Lord. Ministry says in the chat room, is there any news on Rev the Horse Slayer video game?
No, that's Space Invaders, and my little buddy is still working on it.
Now, Ashley, I'm going to have to disagree with you because I'm going to have, when it comes to like casual games or social games, from what I've seen, I'm going to have to disagree with you and say Disneyland Adventure. Because I believe you meet up with people in this game and you play certain rides and certain games together on this game. Now, I know when you saw
you go play around with Peter Pan and Little Wendy.
Now, I know you were on we were both watching the Microsoft conference at the same time on via Skype, and I know that you really voiced a displeasure, a disliking for this game.
What, Disneyland Adventures?
Yeah.
No! I think it's brilliant. It means nobody's going to go to Disneyland in Florida anymore. Or Disney World, or whatever it is. Nobody's going to go there. They're just going to sit in front of their 360s and have the same experience, except on the game they can fly with Peter Pan. So basically everybody else can go in and, invade. Whatever.
Well, James, what do you think for best social / casual game?
It's hard on this one, but I'm gonna have to agree with Ashley and say Dance Central 2. It's a game that makes you look gay in your house without anybody noticing.
Alright, WWE fan, what about you? What are your thoughts? Our best social casual game? WWE fan? Alright, now go ahead, Ash.
Everyone agrees with me. I'm loving it.
Wow. Anyway, let's get to the next category. Is best strategy game. Best strategy game. The nominees are Age of Empires Online by Guest Powered Games for Microsoft, the PC. End Up for the PC. From Dust. Skulls of the Shogun by Haunted Temple Studios for the PC and Xbox 360. And Trenched by Double Fine and Microsoft Studios for the Xbox 360. Now, I know a lot of people, there's a huge fan base for Age of Empires, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Big fan base.
But I didn't see anything. I think the only thing I saw at E3 was Age of Empires. So I'm going to have to go with that. That's the only game I know about is Age of Empires, actually. What do you think?
Again, there, I've heard some stuff from Ubisoft with regards to From Dust, so for that, I will pick that one. Although, technically, the best strategy game, no, it's not really a strategy game, is it? Team Fortress 2. Because the news came out this week is Team Fortress 2 is being made completely free to play forever.
Wow.
Huh?
Well,
yeah, if you got a PC, previously you had to pay per to play Team Fortress 2. But because it's become so successful, they've basically said, okay, it's going to be free to play.
Oh, wow.
And they're adding new features and everything. And it's going to be free to play until basically, life finishes. The game's been around for 10 plus years since the original Team Fortress, so, that's proof that, like Portal 2, games that spin off from Half-Life do pretty well for themselves.
Ministry of Darkness says, at least with the Disney adventure game, you got no chance of playing with Shaun the Sheep. Well, anyway,
Billy doesn't know what that is, but I do.
I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that at that as I go to James. And James, your thoughts about best strategy game?
I never heard much of these, so I'm gonna have to agree because with the big fan base, I'm gonna say Age of Empires.
WWE fan, do you think the same thing?
Yeah.
Right. Let's go to best sports game. And Rev, this might intrigue you a little bit when you hear one of the best sports game. The nominees are FIFA Soccer 12 by EA Canada and EA Sports for the PC, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Madden NFL 12 by EA Sports for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, NBA 2K12 by Visual Concepts 2K Sports for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, SSX by EA Canada and EA Sports for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, and the last nominee is UFC Undisputed 3 by Ukes THQ for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Now, me being a football fan and the fact that I hate soccer, no offense, Ashley, and I hate basketball, fuck you all fans, I'm gonna have to go with Madden NFL 12 for my pick. Ashley, what are your thoughts about the best sports game?
Wow. Given my bias, I'm going to have to say SSX. SSX. I've been waiting for... Yeah, I did a swerve there. You thought I was going to say FIFA. You know, FIFA does look very good, the features that they're bringing in. To be honest, so does Madden. And when I saw NBA 2K12, I was like, that looks fucking real.
Oh, God.
But the one I was really pleased to see, and I thought really did well from what I've seen of gameplay, is SSX. It's come back, it's changed itself a bit to kind of be all four of the previous games kind of bundled into one, with the racing and the trick aspect of the first two games, but adding in the kind of free roam survival kind of, you know, race away from an avalanche before you get killed aspect from the third game and from SSX on tour. The only positive thing is they've removed, from what I know of, skiing. It's just snowboarding. They've gone back to basics, and I honestly was more impressed by seeing that than the other four.
Rev,
so I say SSX. I'm sure Rev will agree with me.
Well, Rev just said this in the chat room. If you play a Lego game, you might get to play with Michael Jackson.
Oh!
Did I type that out loud?
I don't think we've got any Lego games coming up in this list.
Oh, man.
Well, anyway, well, James, what do you think for best sports game?
Oh, it's so hard to pick a sports game. I mean, Madden is good. FIFA, I don't play much of FIFA, but you know, it looks good. NBA, yes, it looks real. SSX, I'm not into it, but I'm kind of leaning towards UFC, especially with all the new updates they're gonna have with the Pride and all that stuff. The new
correct me if I'm wrong. Aren't they in this game? Aren't they adding female fighters into this game?
I'm looking at it right now, but not yet. But that's the other game. The EA MMA.
There was a sneaky rumor with regards to a game which we'll mention in the next category, which, you know, is close to certainly probably all our hearts because of what we cover here on WGS Radio.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that in a minute. But it's kind of, what you just said then kind of resonated with me with regards to that, but we'll get over to that anyway. WWE fan, let's go to him next for his thoughts.
Yeah, best sports game, WWE fan. Again, the nominees are FIFA Soccer 12, Madden NFL 12, NBA 2K12, SSX, and UFC Undisputed 3. I know one thing that's pissing you off, that there's not a NASCAR game in this category.
Or a wrestling one.
Remember, wrestling is no longer sports entertainment. It's entertainment.
Oh.
Don't worry. You might be seeing a wrestling game coming up in the next minute or so. Hint! Hint!
So, what are your thoughts about this category?
I vote for football.
Madden NFL 12.
Yeah.
Yay! Finally, someone agrees with me. Yes. All right. The next category we're going to look at is best fighting game. Best fighting game. The nominees are Skullgirls by Reverge Labs and Autumn Games for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Hold on, here somebody is messaging me at the same time on Skype. And
also got
Rev, wait, hold on. Rev Jake Slayer, is there any chance you can bring Mick into a conference call with you?
No. No, I can't.
No?
No. Every time I bring Mick in, my computer goes winky. I can't host a call and be online.
James, what about you?
Huh?
Do you have Mick 37 on your contacts list?
I should have, and I would try.
Okay. Let's go ahead and run down the nominees again for best fighting game. Again, it's
we mentioned Skullgirls.
The next one is Street Fighter 3 Third Strike Online Edition by Iron Galaxy Studios and Capcom for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Street Fighter Cross Tekken, that's how they're officially pronouncing it, is Street Fighter Cross Tekken by Capcom for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 and PlayStation Vita. Soul Calibur 5 by Namco and Namco Bandai for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360. Tekken Tech Tournament 2 by Namco Bandai Games for the arcade. WWE12 by Ukes THQ for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and Wii. I'm going to be biased and say WWE12. Oh, man. Actually, what are your thoughts about best? I asked a little bit about... when I saw that, I'm like, okay, there's some horny perverts out there.
Yeah, but... Well, WWE 12, I think, deserves an honourable mention because they're doing a completely new game engine for it, and from what I've seen of it, with the very small demo that's come out so far, it looks pretty impressive. But it has to go to one of the big three, to be honest. Soul Calibur 5, we haven't seen a lot of. Tekken Tournament 2, we have, and that looks really good, but it has to be one of the Street Fighters. And to be honest, it seems like you have to give it to the definitive edition of Street Fighter 3. Third Strike Online edition is very good. You know, it makes all the gameplay seem just about perfect from what I've heard, so I'm going to say the Third Strike Online edition.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, he's the leader of Team Good.
Oh my God!
It's Mick37. Mick, are you there? Check your microphone, Mick.
Oh, God.
Well, Mick does that.
He's still looking for his penis.
Well, anyway, while Mick is looking for his penis and his microphone, let's go to James. James, your thoughts about best fighting game?
I'm sorry, I'm white. Alright.
Oh, Mick is here, finally. Yes. He's here.
Oh my God!
Mick, we're looking at the critics and nominees for the best of E3 awards, and right now the category is best fighting game, and the nominees are Skullgirls, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike Online Edition, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, Soul Calibur 5, Tekken Tag Tournament 2, and WWE 12. What are your thoughts about this category, best fighting game?
I'm gonna have to say WWE 12 because I'm a biased bastard about this, and I am already ready to pre-order.
Yeah! We're on the same boat as we turn to James and get his thoughts on best fighting game.
I'm a biased bastard too, WWE 12.
WWE fan, please tell me you're a biased bastard like the rest of us.
WWE 12.
Yeah!
It won't win, but it probably deserves to for its new features. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was either Soul Calibur, Tekken Tag, or either of the Street Fighters, or either of the Tekkens. And now I'm confused. Is it? No, Tekken X Street Fighter is the Tekken one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well,
nearly had my head blow up then, live on air.
Well, the next category we're going to look at is probably going to be WWE fans' favorite category, best racing game. Best racing game. The nominees are Driver San Francisco by Ubisoft Reflections and Ubisoft for the PC, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360. Forza 4 by Turn 10 Studios and Microsoft Studios for the Xbox 360. Mario Kart by Nintendo for the 3DS. Need for Speed The Run by EA Black Box and EA Games for the PC, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and the Nintendo Wii. And Wipeout 2048 by Studio Liverpool for the PlayStation Vita. Now, actually, I'm not going to make a pick on this one because I am not a big fan of racing sims. So, if you want to, go ahead and give your thoughts on this racing game.
All of them. Wipeout 2048 was brilliant because it was good to see the Wipeout franchise back. The fact as well, it's with the PlayStation Vita with the whole, six-axis style control, that kind of, the gyro control looks good. Need for Speed The Run looks different as well with the storyline and the QuickTime events with it. Driver San Francisco, it's good to see the Driver franchise back, and the whole concept of jumping into cars wherever they are seems good. But there's two that stand out. Forza 4 because it looks beautiful and also because it has Top Gear stuff, and Top Gear is brilliant. But for me, by no more than half a car's length, trying to do a segue kind of here, I have to give it to Mario Kart because it's
it's Mario Kart, but the fact is, it's got customizable vehicles now, which it hasn't had before. And now you're not only just going to be in karts on tracks, but there's going to be like hang gliders in it, and also you're going to be able to drive underwater. And I think that's enough
Mario!
to make it piss off, Mario. This is my territory. God, it's like warfare. What the hell? Mario Kart 3DS for me.
I'm sure you just posted up in the chat room. Most of those games is just a way to play with your balls.
Nice.
Good old action commercial.
Play your ball.
Anyway,
clean your balls. That was it.
Anyway, let's go to James first. James, your thoughts about best racing game?
This one makes me want to go buy a 3DS. It's the Mario Kart. I think that's gonna be the best racing game. But yeah.
All right. Well, let's go to the leader, Team Gooch.
Oh my God!
And Mick 37. Mick, what are your thoughts about best racing game?
I'm gonna have to say Mario Kart, just because it's the only one I really ever gave a shit about that I was actually good at, and I actually won a race.
and now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to our NASCAR racing expert, WWE fan. WWE fan, what are your thoughts about best racing game? Which one of these games do you feel will win the award?
Need for Speed.
Need for Speed the Run?
Yeah.
Now, I did see some interesting things about this especially I believe with the Microsoft press conference. The fact that you can actually get out of your car and you can actually go on foot in some parts of the game, correct?
Yeah, Need for Speed, what it is, to transfer between different car bits, there's going to be on-foot bits, which you don't actually control, certainly the bit that they showed at the press conference, but it's going to be like quick-time events, like you get in stuff like Resident Evil when you go around there. While we're talking about racing, I believe WWE fan has a certain experience he'd like to share with all of us with regards to NASCAR 11.
Okay,
Beating niggas in front of Christmas.
when I went on the Xbox, it lagged a lot, and twice before the start of the race, I got upside down.
Wait, what?
Yeah, before the start of the race, for some reason, either a hacker or it lagged, but I got upside down twice before the race began.
Damn, he's a
wow.
Oh my God!
Wow. Those are hackers for you. Let's go ahead and get to the next category here. It's best role-playing game.
RPG.
And while it's going to be hard to pick a winner in this one. The nominees are Dark Souls from Software and Namco Bandai Games for the PlayStation and Xbox 360. Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning by Big Huge Games and 38 Studios and EAP for PC, PS3, and Xbox 360. Okay.
I don't know why the P's there.
Oh, that's what they have listed on here.
I'm just wondering if EAP is like, because this is one of the games that, EA partnership it might be, because this is one of the games which is made outside of EA, but it's like an EA exclusive.
Mass Effect 3 by BioWare and EA Games for the PC, PS3, Xbox 360, Star Wars: The Old Republic, and also the Elder Scrolls 5, Skyrim for the PC, PS3, and Xbox 360. Wow. Now, it's going to be hard. In my personal opinion, it's going to be either a toss-up between Mass Effect 3 and the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim, because I know a lot of people have been waiting for such a long time for a sequel to the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion with the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim. And I've seen a lot of Skyrim. It looks really beautiful. It looks like a really well-done game. But so is Mass Effect 3, and the fact that Mass Effect 3 is incorporating Microsoft Connect, and especially voice commands, into this video game. I can't wait to see how that's going to pan out. So it's either going to be Mass Effect 3 or The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. If I have to flip a coin, I'm going to have to go with Mass Effect 3. Ashley, what are your thoughts?
Well, the key thing is we didn't see a lot of Star Wars The Old Republic because they don't want to show too much because they don't want World of Warcraft to steal their ideas. As a dark horse, I'd say Dark Souls, no pun intended, but, you know, I think that could somehow win. But again, for me, it's a toss-up. But for me, I think Elder Scrolls is going to come more out, you know, further on top because that's been longer awaited than Mass Effect 3 has.
All right, well, James, what are your thoughts about best role-playing game? James? Okay, let's go to WWE Fan. WWE Fan, what are your thoughts about best role-playing game?
I'll say with Ashley again.
All right. Well, when James and Mick37 come back, we'll get their thoughts on best role-playing game as we turn to best action adventure game. And holy crap, I will tell you, when you hear the nominees, you already know what my choice is going to be for best action adventure game. The nominees are. You'll hear in a second, Rev.
All right, because I'm confused about the role-playing thing.
Oh, God!
So, Ashley,
I know what you mean.
Ashley, you look like Little Red Riding Hood, and Jordan's got the big man.
I'm going to leave that at that.
Yeah, I think that says a lot. Oh, there.
All right, well, the nominees for Best Action Adventure Game are Assassin's Creed Revelations by Ubisoft Montreal and Ubisoft for PC, PS3, and Xbox 360, Batman Arkham City by Rocksteady Studios and WB Games for PC, PS3, Xbox 360, hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, punch you in the balls, Bioshock Infinite by Irrational Games and 2K Games for the PC, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Tomb Raider... Tomb Raider, to get your attention, goddammit. Anyway, Tomb Raider by Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix for the PC, PS3, Xbox 360, Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception by Naughty Dog Studios for the PlayStation 3. You know, even though I do like Uncharted, I played the first game and I haven't finished it yet, but I still like it. I'm a bigger fan of Batman Arkham City just based on how well Arkham Asylum was. I know a lot of people were hoping for a multiplayer aspect when it comes to Batman Arkham City to make it better. A lot of people feel that a multiplayer aspect would make the game better, but I have to disagree with that because I thought the single-player campaign in itself on Arkham Asylum was phenomenal. It was a wonderful story, wonderful game, and I'm expecting nothing less than the best when it comes to Arkham City. Also considering the fact that in about 10% of this game, you get to play as Catwoman on Batman Arkham City. So I'm going to have to go...
And Robin's in it as well.
As a DLC, I believe. Wasn't they originally supposed to be like a DLC for Batman Arkham City?
Yeah.
But
whatever it is, he looks kind of badass.
I'm going to have to go with Batman Arkham City as my pick for best action-adventure game, actually. What are your thoughts?
My pick is Assassin's Creed Revelations, and Batman Arkham City, and Bioshock Infinite, and Tomb Raider, and Uncharted 3. I cannot actually make a pick on any of the 5, because they all blew me away.
Really?
So, you know, they were all incredible. Tomb Raider, I was really surprised. I thought that was very good. Uncharted 3 looked beautiful, as did Bioshock Infinite. Arkham City looks incredible, but I probably, you know, knowing how other award ceremonies go, and they try and divvy out the awards to, like, every game that's going, considering this is the only nomination in any of the categories for Assassin's Creed Revelations, that might get put ahead of the rest. But any one of the 5, I'd be pleased to see win.
To comment on what Ministry of Darkness just said, Naughty Dog Studios, yes, there is a game studios called Naughty Dog. But, now I want to comment a little bit about Tomb Raider and what I saw at E3 from Tomb Raider. Now, this isn't a sequel to anything they've ever done. This is a prequel to kind of tell on how Lara Croft got to where she is, how she became what she is in video games today. And actually, from what you saw, did you see anything like I saw of Tomb Raider at E3?
Yeah, Tomb Raider looked just, as I say, wow. I didn't think it was going to be that good and that impressive and that dark. Tomb Raider's never normally, it's dark, but it's not dark. That doesn't make sense, but you know, it's like kind of sadistic and stuff, like people
hold on, actually, real quick, Rev Jake said he has to bail, so we bid a fond farewell to Rev Jake, and we will see him on Wednesday's show for WrestleDown. But go back to what you were saying, Ash.
No, the kind of the bondage and the kind of thing, it's just, it doesn't turn me on, but it's that kind of appeal. It's like, you know, Lara's, the whole situation that she was in as well. You see her basically fall on a punji pit. That was any other game, you die. But in her, you know, you actually do like a quick time event with the left and right trigger with the 360 control, because it was shown at the 360 press conference, where basically by pressing the triggers on both sides, you pull the punji stick out of your abdomen area.
Yeah.
And then you go on, then you basically try and be, you know, strangled to death or something by some bloke, and then you find your way out the cave, and, you know, I still can't say it's impossible for me to decide on all these, because they both look very good.
Rev Jake has a new comment in the chat room before he left. He said, I think I want Cabela's Big Game Hunter. Maybe that's something we could talk about with him after the show's over tonight, Ash.
Yeah, I don't know whether there's one out certainly cheap for the PS2 anywhere, but I know it's certainly out for the Nintendo Wii. I still love the name of that. Wii. But you know.
All right, now we lost James too. I don't know what happened here, but if it comes to it, I'll try to bring Mick in on our Skype call. And WWE fan, if we start to sound a little funky on here because we have another person on the call, please,
funky like a monkey.
Please let us know. Well, speaking of that, James is back. James, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Accidentally, my computer accidentally turned off its Wi-Fi for some reason.
Okay. Do you still have Mick37 on your conference call?
I'm going to recall Mick right now.
Well, while you're doing that, W fan, your thoughts about this category, Best Action Adventure Game. Just to repeat the nominees for you are Assassin's Creed Revelations, Batman Arkham City, BioShock Infinite, Tomb Raider, and Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception. What are your thoughts about this category?
I guess I'm going to have to agree with Ashley.
You can't pick a winner because all these games look good?
Yeah, I just can't.
Okay, now, James, from what you heard about this category, Best Action Adventure Game, what are your thoughts?
I'm looking at the list right now. Man, it's hard.
And ladies and gentlemen, he's not talking about his penis either.
I think
and if he was talking about it, it definitely wasn't Mick. Oh! Oh my God!
I think not picking up though. I'm gonna give it a small niche to Batman Arkham City.
Yes, because again, I got hooked on Arkham Asylum. I loved Arkham Asylum. I loved the game. It was fantastic. Even though I'm a little saddened that, you know, after you play through the story, there's not really a replay value to it, but it's just really, really good. It's really good. It's a game that you can sit through and actually enjoy. Even though there is no the replay value of the Batman Arkham Asylum, and probably will be the same thing with Arkham City, the replay value isn't that all, probably won't be that very high, but still we can sit through the game and actually enjoy the story while we're playing the game and have fun doing it too, right, James?
Yeah. Yep, I agree.
All right, well, just keep sending messages to Mick37, and when he says that he's back, let us know when he's on, and we'll get him in, okay?
Okay.
All right, the next category we're going to take a look at is Best Action Game. Best Action Game. The nominees are Battlefield 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, Gears of War 3, oh, there's a lot of 3s, Prey 2, and Rage. Now, again, everybody knows I'm a big Call of Duty fan. I have to stick by the game that I'm a big fan of, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 Gears of War. Now, I've said it many a times. I've tried to play this franchise, and to some people find it fun. I didn't enjoy it whatsoever, so I can't go with Gears of War. I know a lot of people are saying, no, well, Gears of War is great. Why aren't you picking Gears of War? This is my personal opinion. I'm entitled to have my own personal opinion. In my personal opinion, I have to go with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. That's my pick for best action game. I did see a little bit about Rage, not too much about it, and also a little bit of Prey 2 by Human Head Studios for the PC, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360, and Rage from id Software for the PC, PS3, and Xbox 360. But I didn't see enough of it to make me, hook on it. Now, if they release demos of both Prey 2 and Rage, I might have a different opinion about it when I get my hands on it. But I have to stick with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 for right now, Ashley. What are your thoughts about this category?
Again, it's a tough category. There's a good load of games there. I'd say the outside, well, the dark horse there, which I think is definitely an honourable mention, is Rage. That's gaining a lot of interest. But just because I'm intrigued by how the single-player storyline is going to work out, for once, Billy, you and me are going to agree.
Wow.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. When I saw basically the whole Mock Time magazine cover of the Empire State Building or some building in New York smashed up by Makarov and co. and his terrorists, I was like, how the hell are they doing this? It's intriguing, and it's that kind of thing which makes me wonder, is this the end of the trilogy, or is this going to somehow go into a Modern Warfare 4? Who knows, but I have to say Modern Warfare 3.
Okay, before we go to WWE Fan and get his thoughts on Best Action Game, I'm reminding all the live listeners out there, you can call in too live by calling to 914-803-4615. Again, that is 914-803-4615. If you want to get in on the show, if you have any comments you'd like to make, you can also call in via Skype. It is a free call. You can also log into blogtalkradio.com/WGS Radio, log into our chat room, and just like I've been doing ministry so far all show, and right when he was in there, I will read your comments out loud for the sake of the podcast, or if you're listening to us either on the archive right now on Blog Talk Radio or on YouTube, which is youtube.com/WrestleGamer, you can put your comments and your thoughts on each category in the comments section below, and we will acknowledge you on next week's show when we reveal the results to these awards. Now, WWE Fan, what are your thoughts about Best Action Game? Just to repeat, the nominees are Battlefield 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, Gears of War 3, Prey 2, and Rage. What are your thoughts?
I guess Rage, I guess.
Really? All right, James, what are your thoughts about Best Action Game?
It's a hard one, but I'm going to say Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3.
All right. Has anybody get a hold of MiG-37 yet?
No. I have not.
Okay. All right, now the
Mick's just obsessed with Saints Row 2. That's what he's...
Oh, now Ministry's just being a smartass by saying, you're live? I thought you were pre-recorded.
If we were pre-recorded, we never do this. Fuck!
Anyway, the next category... anyway, next category is Best Hardware. And the nominees are PlayStation Vita, Rocksmith, the Sony 3D display, the Wii U, and the Zoom for the Kinect. Holy crap! This is going to be a hard. This is going to be a hard category because we've talked for months about PlayStation and their NGP, or now that we finally found out it's what it's called, the PlayStation Vita. Rocksmith looked really intriguing, basically based on the fact that you can plug in an actual electronic guitar and learn how to play it instead of playing on a little plastic thing. The Sony 3D display, I didn't see too much about. Wii U, the new console coming out from Nintendo, a lot of people were waiting for that too. And also the Zoom for Kinect. I know a lot of people have been there have been complaints about there with the Kinect that you have to be in a big area to play it, which is no longer a factor now, thanks to the zoom for the Kinect. Really, really tough to think, to pick on who I think is going to win, but I'm going to have to go with the PlayStation Vita. I've always been a big fan of the PlayStation. I've had a PlayStation 2. I now have a PlayStation 3 along with my Xbox 360 and a PlayStation Portable. And the fact that we now have the next handheld device, which is going to be the PlayStation Vita, I'm going to have to go with Vita.
Yeah, go with everybody else next, because I want to go last for this one.
Well, WWE fan, what are your thoughts about this one? Best hardware. Again, the nominees are PlayStation Vita, the Rocksmith, Sony 3D display, the Wii U, and the Zoom for the Kinect. What are your thoughts?
I think it's the Wii U.
You gonna go with the Wii U? You want to get? Because I know you had a Nintendo Wii before, right?
Yeah.
All right, James, what are your thoughts about this one? Best hardware.
I gotta give it to the Wii U because it's very interesting with the controller itself, not the system, but the controller itself make it interesting.
Especially the fact that on the controller there's an actual screen on it, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
All right, now Ashley went to go last. Oh, Ashley, you're last. Your thoughts about the best hardware category?
I wanted to do that because I wanted the two major ones covered already, because I don't want to go for either of them. The Vita is all very nice at $250. I'm surprised it's that much. The only drawback, AT&T. If you haven't got AT&T, you're stuffed pretty much.
However, the Wi-Fi version of it, is just a little bit more expensive, if I'm not mistaken. The price of $249, I believe, is for
the standard edition. $299 though is still pretty good for the 3G and Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Wii U looked very good, but I was kind of disappointed that all they were basically showing you was the controller. They didn't want to bother showing you the actual gubbing that does all the processing of everything that you see on the screen, because it basically just sits in the corner. I'd have preferred to have seen the whole thing. I'd actually seen it on stage rather than go to the booth or whatever.
I think Minister of Darkness is in agreement with you. His latest comment says Wii U current letdown is the single controller.
And that's the thing. There are some reports that you may not even be able to buy a second Wii U controller for your Wii U. It may just be one controller per machine, which seems a bit stupid. But Rocksmith you also have to give credit to, and Zoom for Kinect, because they're doing great things by actually making you not have to do with a plastic guitar or, have a huge room the size of, New Orleans Stadium to play Kinect with. But I have to say the most revolutionary one is the Sony 3D display. I mean, basically, 3D TVs cost, I don't know, $1,000 for a decent quality one.
Yeah.
From, let's say, LG or Sony. They're giving you a Sony 3D display. Probably isn't a TV, but it's just a display. But a 3D display, a 6-meter HDMI cable to connect to your PS3, a free copy of Resistance 3, and a free pair of 3D glasses, which normally cost $70, and you're getting all that for $500. It's basically, Sony are basically taking 3D to the masses. All this, I see it's a fad, but the fact is, you getting it, a Sony branded product, for half the price of the next, standard, the level quality, is incredible. So I have to say the 3D display.
All right, well, the next category we're going to look at is the best PC game. Best PC game from E3. The nominees are Battlefield 3, BioShock Infinite, End of Nations by Triad Worlds to the PC, Star Wars The Old Republic, and Torchlight 2 by Runic Games and Perfect World for the PC. I'm not big on PC games, actually. I'm going to toss this one over to you.
Well, the thing that's got going against Battlefield 3 and Bioshock Infinite is because they're on consoles as well. So, in that sense, you have to say Star Wars Old Republic is favourite. But, considering how well it's done on PC before, I wouldn't be surprised if you had Bioshock Infinite possibly win it either. So, between the two, but more likely Star Wars Old Republic.
Well, WWE fan, what do you think? Best PC game?
What was the categories again?
I'm sorry?
What was the categories again?
Best PC game. The nominees are Battlefield 3, Bioshock Infinite, End of Nations, Star Wars The Old Republic, and Torchlight 2.
I say Star Wars.
All right. Well, James, what are your thoughts about best PC game?
I just gotta have to say Star Wars. But Battlefield and Bioshock is close second in both of those.
All right. The next category we're going to look at is best handheld mobile game. Best handheld mobile game. The nominees are Contra Jor. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Mario Kart, Sound Shapes, Super Mario for the 3DS, and Uncharted Golden Abyss for the PlayStation Vita. Wow, this is a difficult category here, actually, because there's only two games I heard of in this category that I've seen on E3. Is Uncharted Golden Abyss, as you know, they did a lot of demonstrations of it when they were talking about the PlayStation Vita, and Mario Kart.
Yeah. To be honest, for me, it's a tough one. I mean, Contra Jor, all I have to say to that is it's an iPad and iPhone game, so boo! Sorry. It's tough. Sound Shapes is a good game, but the ones that had the wow factor was Uncharted Golden Abyss, because it looked like a PS3 game, except it was on a handheld. Mario Kart and Super Mario. Because Super Mario kind of looks like, it's kind of like Sonic Generations, it's 2D and 3D. But I'd have to give the edge to Uncharted, to be honest. Uncharted, you know, when I saw it, it was very good. And the fact you can use all the different styles of controls for gameplay. And the fact that the story is set even before the first game, so if you only play one Uncharted game, and you know, and it's the PS Vita version, it will lead you into, you know, a kind of pick-me-up for the other three games. Which it was also announced earlier this week that the first two Uncharted would be coming out in a special bundle for the release of Uncharted 3, as is Resistance 1 and 2, and the Ratchet & Clank games ahead of the new Ratchet & Clank game coming later this year, I believe.
Well, WWE fan, what are your thoughts about this category, best handheld or mobile game? Again, the nominees are Contra Jor, Mario Kart, Sound Shapes, Super Mario, and Uncharted Golden Abyss. What are your thoughts?
Mario Kart.
Okay, and James, what are your thoughts about best handheld or mobile game?
It's just hard to pick a winner, but I'm gonna have to give it to the Mario Kart.
Well, speaking of hard to pick a winner, the next category is best console game. Best console game. The nominees are Batman Arkham City, Mass Effect 3, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, Tomb Raider, and Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception. Right off the bat, I'm going with Batman Arkham City. Batman Arkham City. Actually, what are your thoughts?
Again, it's another toughie. All 5 games, very good. But I'd have to say, you've got to give credit to both Elder Scrolls V and Batman Arkham City on here, because Did they appear at any of the big press conferences? No, because they didn't need to. So it has to be between them two for me, and for me, you've got to give The Dark Knight the edge. So Batman Arkham City is best console game for me.
WWE fan, what are your thoughts about this best console game? Again, the nominees are Batman Arkham City, Mass Effect 3, The Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim, Tomb Raider, and Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception.
Batman.
James, what are your thoughts?
I'm gonna go with everybody else, Batman.
Alright, well, the next category we have here, excuse me, is Best Original Game. Best Original Game. The nominees are Bastion, BioShock Infinite, From Dust, Journey, and Sound Shapes. Now, just from this category, I'm going to have to go with BioShock Infinite, actually.
Sorry, I was having a drink. I have to say with the... You see, the question is BioShock Infinite truly original? Because is it a sequel to BioShock? Is it like a spin-off sequel to BioShock 2? Because it's supposed to be set... Is it supposed to be set before or after BioShock? I think it's before.
Yeah, it's a prequel.
It's kind of a prequel, so I don't know if it's a truly original game. That's a bit... For me, it's a Sony situation here. Sound Shapes was very good. Looked really good and good controls of the Vita. But I'd have to say Journey has the edge because that game company, that game looks so beautiful, and Flower, I think, did wonders a couple of years back for Best Original Game, so again, I'll just quickly look into that, but I say Journey is going to get the victory.
Alright, WWE fan, what are your thoughts about this category, Best Original Game? Again, the nominees are Bastion, BioShock Infinite, From Dust, Journey, and Sound Shapes. What are your thoughts?
I'll agree with Ashley.
And
Stop agreeing with me.
You're freaking him out. James, what are your thoughts?
I am going to go with that game company's game, Journey.
Okay.
Hang on, I'm just having a quick look. 2008 was when it was nominated for Best Original Game. It actually didn't win that year. It actually, Mirror's Edge was Best Original Game that year. And, you know, that one turned to be so successful, the developers have now been shut down. No, it's DICE, sorry. That was so successful, but, it went and disappeared. It was like, oh, forget about that game, whatever you do. Play something else. I can go into my local game or game station, and I can get Mirror's Edge now for PS3 or 360 for about $6-7. It's incredible. It's not brilliant, but it's a very good game. And for that value, it's a must grab.
Alright, well, the next category we're going to look at is the final category. It's Best of Show, and wow, it's going to be hard, but I'm going to be biased anyway when you hear the nominees.
Oh, no, bias.
Yeah, the nominees for Best of Show are Batman Arkham City, BioShock, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, Tomb Raider, and Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be leaning towards Uncharted 3 because of its, the sequel to it, but I'm going to be biased. I'm going to go with Batman Arkham City, Ashley.
Yeah, what a surprise. What a surprise. I'm going to be less biased. All 5 games are very good, but I have to say, the edge goes with Uncharted. It seems like the ultimate package. I know they didn't want to bring in multiplayer to Batman Arkham City, which probably would have hurt the game, but, the more and more people clamour for loving the Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, the more people will be asking, it's worked so well, why don't you do a multiplayer kind of version? But not in the style of DC Universe Online kind of thing. So, for me, because it's the perfect package of both single player and multiplayer, I think Uncharted 3 may take it, but, you know, any one of the 5, again, I would be pleased.
Alright, well, WWE fan, again, this is the best of show category. The nominees are Batman Arkham City, Bioshock Infinite, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, Tomb Raider, and Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception. What are your thoughts?
Batman.
Yeah, you're gonna stick by the Dark Knight. Well, let's go to James. James, your thoughts for best of show. This is gonna be a really tough category.
It is. It's hard to pick a winner for me. Really hard. But I may say Uncharted 3 is good, Batman's good. I never really heard of Elder Scrolls, but it sounds good. Bioshock and Tomb Raider is good. I might give the slight edge to Tomb Raider though. I gotta disagree with every one of y'all.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna be it. Be sure you tune in next week to Game Up here on WGS Radio, where we'll break down the results of the Game Critics Best of E3 Awards, and also we're going to take a look at G4 TV's X-Play version of their Best of E3 and give our thoughts on whether or not we agree with their decisions or not. So, with that being said, it's time to ask the almighty question: what games are you in the middle of right now?
Sound effect. Wait for it. Oh, there.
All right, I'm going to start with you, Ashley. What games are you in the middle of right now?
At the minute, sadly nothing. But I'm starting to get back, trying to complete, in completist style, try and get everything and unlock everything on SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. And to be honest, I'm probably saving up for what I may be doing in a few months, but we'll talk about that in a week or so when I may be able to give you more details.
All right, well, WWE fan, what game are you in the middle of right now?
I guess NASCAR 2011.
And
on his roof, being hacked.
Well, all right, well, James, question to you: what games are you in the middle of right now?
With my busyness, I haven't been able to play a game, but I'm going to try to go back to SmackDown vs. Raw 2011.
And as I answer the question, I'm having too much fun playing the Homefront multiplayer demo. It's really fun. It's really enjoyable. It's a different experience from Call of Duty. So I'm just having too much fun playing it. So that's the game I'm playing right now. It's the Homefront multiplayer demo. So with that being said, that concludes Game Up here on WGS Radio. I'd like to thank everybody for joining me this week. That is WWE fan James, Decon from Oroshock Media at the time he was here, the Iron Reverend Jake Slayer, Ministry of Darkness in the chat room, and of course the Studley man Ashley. I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux saying, don't play with your joystick in public, because somewhere a little child will cry if you do. Good night, everybody.
Louisiana Championship Wrestling presents Scores and Stripes from the Mammoth Skate Center. That's 98 Main Street, Mammoth, Louisiana. You can call them on 318-664-4609. What's all that about?
GCW presents live 100% chance of pain. July 23rd at the American Legion Hall at 3319 Veteran Memorial Drive in Abbeville, Louisiana. For more ticket information, call 337-366-74 880.
GameUp is a production of WGS Radio and brought to you by www.thewrestlegamershow.com and also brought to you by...
Hi, I'm the Iron Reverend Jake Slayer. And if you're like me, you're probably thinking about contraception right about now. Do you want to protect your nuts and dirty little sluts? Do you want to avoid being a dick bondage? Well, then we have what you need at the WGS store. It's the WGS Condom Pack. They come in different sizes and flavors, and they are definitely like a share shot to the ball. And remember, at WGS, your cock is safe in our hands.
Now, something that intrigues me. Billy, would you consider playing Dance Central 2?
I would rather be shot in my penis than play that game.
What if they offered you unlimited amount of Yu-Gi-Oh cards? You wouldn't have to go up on YouTube or anything with it. Don't worry. But would you actually buy the game and play it if you were given all the cards? Or would you say you would?
I say I would, but I wouldn't really do it.
Thank God Playboy the Mansion isn't coming to the Connect.
Oh my God.